White men represent 30% of the population, but 62% of office holders. These are the issues that we are constantly looking at and recognizing and trying to say, is this just? I can't even tell you how many white men have served in this chamber, but I can tell you that I am only the 55th black woman to be elected to Congress. And so when you want to talk about history and pretend as if it was so long ago, it wasn't. Because again, I am just number 55. Finally, when we start to talk about what do these numbers do, as we're trying to say that diversity, equity, and inclusion is the problem, the reality is that when it comes to financial performance, companies with more diverse workforces are more likely to outperform their competitors. Companies in the top quartile for racial diversity are 35% more likely to outperform their peers on profitability. Companies with diverse executive teams are 25% more likely to generate greater profits. Diverse companies earn 2.5 times higher cash flow per employee. Diversity works.
There was one more section of Crockett's remarks in that committee this week that is very much worth hearing. Here was her response to the white male Republicans claiming that DEI amounts to oppression as they pushed this anti-DEI bill.
You consistently said over and over the word oppression, and every time that you said it, it was almost as if I was hearing nails on a chalkboard, because it seems like you don't understand the definition of...
I think the problem with talking about DEI or inclusion or diversity or anything else like that is that the people who need to hear it are either actively opposed to diversity because they are bigoted, or they genuinely think that we already live in a meritocracy, and that any, statistical imbalances or disproportionate representation is down to exactly that. Of course, they don't actually believe that, because then, like, remember when Boeing's planes started falling apart because they're run by the kinds of people who Republicans have just put in charge of the next government? Austerity freaks, who don't care about anything but profits. Then they blamed black pilots for shit like doors falling off. Remember that? They don't actually believe, they think the opposite. They think like it would be a meritocracy were it not for DEI programs or whatever. But then you show a conservative a chart reflecting the difference in how many men and how many women are getting degrees, and all of a sudden, Elon Musk is commenting going, curious. Why are so many more women? Well, you can do this with white people in basically any field, and Republicans will be like, well, yeah, it's because like white people are just, maybe you should do better then, maybe skill issue. But if you show women outperforming men and getting college degrees, then all of a sudden the shoe's on the other foot. And they're like, well, hold on a second. There's no way this could be the product of a skill issue. It must be bias. And unfortunately for a lot of Republicans, I genuinely don't think they know they're being hypocritical, which means they don't know they're lying. I genuinely don't think they understand. It's crazy.
Of oppression, and I'd ask you to just refer to Google to help you out. Oppression is the prolonged, cruel, or unjust treatment or control. That is the definition of oppression. And so as I sit here as a black woman who practiced civil rights, let me tell you the reason that my colleague...
I don't think this is going to convince anyone. Any Republicans, I mean. It's still good to say. I mean, she's correct. Just, okay, hold on one second. Kenneth, I'm going to keep muting you forever from now on until you learn to stop chatting like someone who's like a chat GPT-3 bot. You have to stop doing that. I'm sorry. No, you're not. I've told you this like 100 times. I'll stop. Do you support more autistic representation in Congress? Having interacted with autistic people? No. It's still correct to say, Diltius. Yeah, ChatGPT could never figure out when to do that, Sour Hill. It requires understanding when a joke is being told. Something that AI has yet to understand. But isn't it a problem more Dems aren't saying this? I'm feeling very disagreeable today. Why are you talking to me about it? What do you mean? What are you saying? You're just saying stuff. For entertainment? Oh, okay. Here, this is going to entertain me. Yeah, Jackies. There's a reason why basically every right-wing party, every right-wing government all across the world is just lagging behind on our talking points. Like, all of them follow us. And the reason for that is because in basically every country on Earth, the right-wing culture war is promoted and funded by plutocrats who are just looking for a distraction. Literally, it's crazy how correct Marx was. Every country, every time you take a look at where this like sudden push of right-wing values comes from, it's always, every time, like a couple of super far-right billionaires with ties to media. That's it. It always starts, you can literally do this like all over the place. They can be foreign, they can be local, it doesn't matter. It's always the capital class is using this as a front to push for conservative agenda, like conservative policy, deregulation, that sort of thing. It is never like an authentic, from the grassroots, anti-establishment, like movement, even though it often pretends to be. Where's the Marx emote? Why would we have a Marx emote? Because Marx? That's great. It's just like Twitch. Where's the Jon Stewart emote? I'm going to look at YouTube chat for the rest of the stream. Yeah, right-wing grassroots advocacy is and always has been extremely inauthentic. This goes back for a pretty long time, you know? It's not exactly a new development. You can go back to like examples from the 19th century. Oh yeah, anti-immigrant sentiment. Wow, anti-Chinese immigration sentiment, driving down the value of their work and wages. You know, local workers feel threatened by them. They get to work for pennies on the dollar and then treated like shit. Many such cases.